If you're a man over 50 or even in your 60s and you feel like building muscle has become impossible, like no matter what you've tried, your body just doesn't respond the way it used to, well, this video might end up being the most important video you watch this year, because today I'm giving you something almost no man your age ever receives: the complete blueprint to finally build real muscle again. Muscle that restores your confidence, strengthens your body, protects your joints, and gives you back the energy and presence you thought were gone forever. And whether you've been stuck for decades or you're starting for the first time in years, you're about to learn exactly how men in their 50s, 60s, even into their upper 70s can build muscle faster and safer than they ever imagined. But before we dive into the how, I want to talk to the men who feel this deeply. Some of you were the skinny kid, the runt, the easy target, the one overlooked in every single room. Others live the opposite: overweight, soft, weak, or skinny fat, hiding under clothes, avoiding mirrors, feeling invisible. I was both of those men at different stages in my life. I know what it feels like to not feel strong mentally or physically, and I know what it feels like to wake up in a body you don't feel proud of. And here's what I learned the hard way: muscle changes everything. It changes how you walk, how you think, how you carry yourself, and even how the world sees you. When you build muscle after 50, you reclaim the identity you thought you lost. My name is Gary Walker. I've been coaching men for over 30 years. And for the last 12 years, I've worked exclusively with men over 40, 50, and 60, even into their 70s. I've coached thousands of men from all different backgrounds: men with injuries, stiff joints, low energy, low testosterone, and years of frustration. I know exactly what works and what destroys progress. And if you stay with me until the end of this video, I'm going to give you 2 pro-level muscle building techniques I use with my men to bring up weak body parts, and I've used it for years without adding more weight or more volume. And at the very end, I'll show you how to get a personalized workout designed by me, built specifically for your lifestyle, your equipment you have access to, and your goals. Let's get into the muscle building blueprint every man over 50 needs to follow. First, we have to talk about how you load the weight. The first truth you must understand is this: you don't need heavy weight to build muscle, but you do need smart weight. Your muscles can still generate plenty of force. They haven't aged nearly as much as your connective tissue has, but your tendons, ligaments, and joint capsules become less elastic and more collagen dense as you age. That means they tolerate slow, controlled tension extremely well, but they don't tolerate rapid, explosive, max effort loading anymore. So here's a golden rule for every working set: choose a weight that brings you to within 2 to 3 reps of failure while maintaining perfect form. If the goal is 10 reps, your 10th rep should be slow, challenging, and a little shaky, but still technically clean. When you train this way, you get exactly what you need: high mechanical tension, full motor unit recruitment, deep activation of those big type 2 muscle fibers that are responsible for most of your muscle growth. And you do it with minimal joint damage, which is key for older guys. What you want to avoid now is max effort singles, doubles, and triples. Your muscles might still be capable of it, but your joint structures are not. That's the key. At this age, we're chasing progressive tension, not ego lifting. We want to slowly increase the demand on the muscle without beating up the joints that have to carry you for the rest of your life. Once you understand that, the next step is learning how to create intensity without just throwing more weight on the bar. All right, now let's talk about that, because intensity actually matters more than heavy weight after 50. Slow eccentrics, TriCon sets, rest pause work, and compound sets all allow you to stimulate far more muscle without constantly increasing the load. Slow eccentrics simply mean you lower the weight for 3 to 4 seconds under full control. That extra time under tension forces the muscle to work even harder and actually improves tendon strength, because tendons respond very well to slow, controlled loading. And TriCon sets are one of my favorite tools. You start with 3 controlled explosive reps, driving the weight up with power, but still staying in control. Then you go into 3 5-second isometric holds at the midpoint of the movement, locking the muscle under tension, which floods with blood, oxygen demand, and neural activity. And then you finish with 3 slow, controlled reps using about 3 to 4 second lowering phase and a strong, controlled lift on the way back up, typically another 3 seconds or so, all in one set. You hit mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and isometric recruitment without needing a massive amount of weight. Compound sets, that's another powerful tool. That's when you do 2 exercises back to back for the same muscle group. For example, a chest fly into an incline dumbbell press, or lateral raises into overhead dumbbell presses. This creates more fatigue in the target muscle without constantly chasing heavier dumbbells, heavier loads. And rest pause training lets you dig a little deeper into those fast twitch fibers by allowing just enough partial recovery to extend the set safely, again, without adding more load. These are the tools that let you train like a workhorse without beating your joints into the ground. Training is only half of the blueprint though. Let's move into the nutrition, because this is where most older men fall short without realizing it. Most men over 50 eat like they're dieting all the time, not like they're trying to build muscle. They eat too little protein, too few high quality nutrients, and too many meals that combine carbs and fats in ways that promote fat storage instead of muscle growth. Protein is non-negotiable. As you age, your muscles become less sensitive to the protein signal that tells them to grow. That means you need more protein per meal and more protein per day to get the same muscle building response you used to get when you were younger. A good target to look for is 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of your goal body weight. Now, not necessarily your current weight, but the weight you want to be at. So if your goal is to be 180 pounds, that means 140 to 180 grams of protein spread evenly throughout the day. Fats are just as important though. Healthy fats support testosterone production, joint health, inflammation control, and even your nervous system function. You want sources like olive oil, whole eggs, salmon, nuts, and avocados. Your body uses these fats as raw material to build and support your hormones. Then we also have the carbs. Carbs are not your enemy. They are fuel, especially for your hard training. Your body is most insulin sensitive during and after your workouts. That means it handles carbs better at those times, shuttling more of them into your muscles as fuel and glycogen and less into fat storage. So you want to prioritize your structure your carbs around your training window and keep your meals simple and intentional. That leads right into the next piece I want to mention, which almost no one talks about: how to combine your foods. There's one mistake older men make over and over when their goal is to build muscle and lose fat at the same time. They constantly combine high carbs and high fats in the same meals. When you load up on both carbs and fats together, you flood your bloodstream with two primary energy sources at the same time. Your body will burn what it needs for immediate energy, but it will store what it doesn't need as excess fat. Think about the classic meals most men eat: pizza, burgers and fries, pasta with cheese, desserts, and pastries. That combination of high carbs and high fats is a fat storage recipe. Instead, structure your meals like this. On training days, focus on protein and carbs, lean meats, rice, potatoes, fruits, maybe some oats. On off days, focus on protein and healthy fats and veggies. Shoot for eggs, salmon, avocados, nuts, along with a ton of fibrous veggies. Keep the meal simple and easy to digest. Your body will process that combination more efficiently. You'll also improve insulin sensitivity and you'll stabilize your hormones. You'll also create an internal environment that favors muscle gain and fat loss at the same time. All right, now let's touch on supplements, because that's huge. This is another area where a lot of men are wasting money and hope. Now I'm going to keep this simple and 100% honest. Creatine monohydrate is one of the most researched compounds in existence. It supports strength, performance, recovery, even cognitive function. It helps your muscle cells hold a little more water and energy so you can perform better and even recover better. Now, there's also a ZMA, zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6. This can support deeper sleep, recovery, testosterone optimization, and overall nervous system repair. Most men are at least mildly deficient in one or more of these minerals. A good whey or beef isolate protein is just a tool to help you hit your daily protein target on the days you don't feel like cooking or eating another meal. Micronutrient support, a quality multivitamin or targeted minerals, only if you're actually deficient though. And everything else, especially test boosters, is marketing, man. They are one of the biggest scams targeting men over 40, over 50. No powder pill or booster will ever replace consistent training, structured nutrition, quality sleep, and disciplined habits. Now let's zoom out and put all this together in one integrated system. Most men fail because they treat each piece as separate instead of understanding how they work synergistically together. Training provides a stimulus. It tells your body we need more muscle and more strength. Protein and carbs provide the raw materials to repair and grow that muscle. Fats stabilize your hormones so that testosterone, growth factors, and recovery processes stay in a healthy range. And sleep restores your nervous system, balances your hormones, and is when most of your repair and growth actually happens. Recovery, both planned rest and active recovery, keeps your joints healthy and prevents you from digging a hole your body can't climb out of. And consistency is the multiplier. It takes all of these physiological benefits and compounds them over weeks, months, and years. This system works every single time at 50, 60, 70, and even older, as long as you actually honor all these pieces. Now, I promise at the beginning, let me give you 2 pro-level techniques that can bring up stubborn areas like a stubborn chest, shoulders, arms. The first is pre-exhaust sets. This is where you use an isolation exercise to fatigue the target muscle before your compound lift. For example, you do a chest fly first, then go into an incline dumbbell press. Or you do lateral raises, then move right into a seated dumbbell shoulder press. Or you can even do like leg extensions before you do some leg presses. Now, what this does is simple. It forces the weaker or lagging muscle to work harder during the big lift instead of letting your stronger muscles take over. And over time, this brings up weak areas much faster. The second technique, supersets, man. These are pretty basic. It's supersetting opposing muscle groups. It might look like a dumbbell bench press followed by a dumbbell row, or cable curls followed by cable tricep pushdowns, or leg extensions followed by leg curls. This improves blood flow, increases metabolic stress, and allows you to stimulate more total muscle fibers in less time, all without chasing heavier and heavier loads. These 2 methods alone have produced more improvements in weak muscle groups than almost anything else I've used over the last decade with my men. Now, if you're listening to all of this and thinking, Gary, I get it, but I'd rather you just lay it all out there for me, I've got you. If you want me to design your perfect workout, whether that's a bodybuilding style split, a muscle building program with more frequency, a joint friendly plan to rebuild your strength, or a complete transformation blueprint customized for your life, I would love to help. I'll put a link in the description below to apply for my one-on-one Alpha Maker project. If you're truly ready to transform your body, your strength, and your confidence, fill out the application. And if you're a good fit, I will personally reach out and set up a call to build your perfect plan for you. As always, thanks so much for watching my video. Get busy, get after it, and God bless.